Case Study: Pharmaceutical Society vs. Boots Cash Chemist, 1953. The Plaintiff vs. Defendant. The Plaintiff, Pharmaceutical Society of Great Britain vs. the Defendant, Boots Cash Chemist. What do we know about the case? Facts. The defendant ran a self-service shop which listed non-prescription drugs and medicines, many listed on the poison list on Pharmacy and Poison Act 1933. It all started when Boots Cash Chemist Ltd renovates its branch pharmacy into a new style of pharmacy. The pharmacy had two departments and adopted the self-service system. On April 13, 1951, customers entered the pharmacy to purchase medicine. The customer entered to the shops and selected the items that displayed on the shelves and put them into the basket. The representative of Pharmaceutical Society of GB watched the situation in the store. Then, the customer brought the items to the cash counter and made the payment with the supervision of the registered pharmacist. The customer intended to buy medicine which contains substance included in Part 1 of the poison list under Section 17 of the Pharmacy and Poison Act 1933. A person from Pharmaceutical Society saw the transaction and brought the case to the court under the Pharmacy and Poison Act 1933A. Whether it is a completed purchase when a customer takes the goods from the shelf, it is merely an invitation to trade. Were drugs and medicines selected by customers from the display shelves sold to the customer before the customer took them to the cashier? This is the first hearing for the case in the year 1951. The court held that the self-service system did not amount to an offer by the defendant to sell, but merely to an invitation to the customer buy. That such an offer was accepted at the cashier's desk under the supervision of the registered pharmacist, and that there was therefore no infringement of the section. These were the conversations held in the court.
I agree with the Lord Chief Justice in everything that he said, but I will put matters shortly in my own words. Although goods are displayed and it is intended that customers should go and choose what they want, the contract is completed until the customer having indicated the articles which he needs. the shopkeeper or someone on his behalf accept that offer, then the contract is completed. For this reason, in my opinion, the appeal should be dismissed.
I am of the same opinion. It does not amount to an acceptance of an offer to sell. It is an offer by the customer to buy, and there is no sale affected until the sale the buyer's offer to buy is accepted by the acceptance of the price. I agree that this appeal ought to be dismissed.
In fact, I am satisfied that it's not the position and that the articles, even though they are priced and put in shop like this, do not represent an offer by the shopkeeper which can be accepted merely by the picking up of the article in question. I quite agree with the reasons on which the Lord Justice arrived at that conclusion, and which Burkitt LJ has just referred to. And to those observations, I can add nothing of my own. I agree that the appeal fails.
There is a misunderstanding between the defendant and plaintiff, whereby plaintiff thought the selling of poison drugs by using self-service is contravening the law. The article which had been displayed is not only an invitation. Therefore, the sale of the drug took place when the customer had taken the goods they choose to the cashier for payment. Boots should place all the medicine which contains drug and poison behind the cashier counter, and whichever customers wish to buy, they shall seek the pharmacist on duty for assistance.
In this case, which is Pharmaceutical Society of Great Britain vs. Boots Cash Chemist Ltd. in the year 1953, it was not an offer, but it was an invitation to trade. What is an invitation to trade? It is an invitation to trade. It's not an offer, but rather a bargain or negotiation. An invitation to trade occurs when parties express interest in doing business without intending to be legally bound at this stage. However, in Malaysia, the Contracts Act 1950 does not contain any provision pertaining invitation to trade, and only English law on this point is applicable. Here are some examples of daily situations that we think are offer but actually are an invitation to trade. Firstly, goods displayed in a shop window or on the shelf, such as the case, snacks, advertisement, tender, and also auction.